Let's fucking go. Oh shit. You guys can see me. What is up, everybody? Let's freaking go. I'm coming at you live from my Dubai penthouse. There. That's a little better. This is not a green screen or AI generated. I swear. All right, so are you guys ready to freaking go? Are you guys ready to learn how to accomplish life of your wildest dreams? Whoa, awkward. That was actually not staged. I meant to do that later, actually. It was a little creepy.
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah,
this thing's
this,
falling
this,
apart.
this,
You can see the money tree now. Okay, guys, whatever. My cover was blown, but you guys already know what's going on. If you raise your hands, I'll answer the questions at the end of the webinar. We're just going to wait a few minutes for everybody to trickle in. We got 30 people now. It's going to go straight up. Marianne, if you're listening, if we could find a link and drop that in the group, that'd be helpful. But I don't think there is a live link for just specific people. Or I mean everybody. There's links for specific people, but not literally everybody like we need. So no worries, I can't find it. But you guys found it. Let's freaking go. It's a pleasure. Let's run this shit. Hopefully you guys are ready. This is the funnest day of the week. It's 7 p.m. out here. I'm popping an energy drink because I'm bringing the heat for you guys. I know I originally said this is going to be an hour, but it's going to be a little bit longer. So if you could block some time off, this would be really important for you and your growth. There is not going to be a replay, and there's not going to be a reveal of this content anywhere else. You know how some people say, "Oh, this is only going to be in this spot, nowhere else." Like, no, I'm not putting it on YouTube. I'm not putting the Facebook group. I'm not putting it literally anywhere else, the free program, nothing. This is only here right now. So let's all be present together, okay? Put away your phones, be present with me. This is like, if you're not at $25,000 a month, hands down, this is the most important thing you could possibly listen to right now, because let me tell you what, this has transformed my life 20, 100-fold. This has been the craziest journey of my entire life. I'm coming at you humbly today to let you know that I'm just a normal guy who wasn't really good at anything growing up. And I just stumbled along this, and I was super shitty at first and I sucked. And then I eventually got better one step at a time and just kept improving. And it's actually insane. Yes, let's go. Everybody drop in the chat where you're from right now, and if you want, what time it is. Let's show some respect and love for the people that show up around the freaking clock, because I know that we got people on the eastern side of the world here. Let's go. Pakistan, 4 a.m. That's some David Goggins shit. No Diddy. Carlos says no Diddy. Looking swole. Thank you. Dennis says hi, Diane. What's good, Dennis? What's good, Diane? Mirza. What's good? Early birds. Alan, my man, I see you on Instagram. Abdullah, let's go. Kawaja, let's go. Matthew Fincher, my man. Sandra, Naples, Florida, Bangladesh, let's go. Man, Brandon Perry from the States but live in Japan. Well, let's link up next time I'm in Japan. I love going there. I'm actually, it's been super fun meeting all you guys, and I'm traveling randomly. It's like almost every city I go to has an awesome community of you guys. So like I'm more than happy to meet up. Okay. 5 a.m. Sam Thompson. Let's go. Wolf. Man, we're going hard out here. So people are trickling in like crazy. This is going to be so ridiculous. This is hands down the biggest presentation I've ever done. I wasn't just saying that for marketing shit. I was like, actually, this is the longest presentation. I'm giving away the most juicy stuff. So make sure to pay attention. No, there's not going to be a replay. I don't think this is recording, but if for whatever reason it is, it's private for me, and I'm not going to share it with literally a single soul. Okay, if anything, I'll just review this later. So let's freaking go. Are you guys excited or what? Drop a one in the chat if you're freaking pumped to learn how to make 25K a month, to travel the world, to get a bust down rollie. That's a Rolex with ice or diamonds on it for the people. It's like silly rapper talk. Or if you want to travel the world, or if you want to just spend more time with your kids and your family, or have more lifestyle freedom, or not answer to anybody, or travel to Japan at five-star resorts like I did last year, or Thailand, or we got Alex Blomirth here. What's good? CJ, man, we got lots of people here. Yeah, literally the life of wildest dreams is just around the corner, and this is the one step. And so, you know, I come at you guys humbly. Let's freaking run this shit. All right. So I'm going to share the entire presentation with nothing held back. All right. So here you go. This is the entire 25K copywriter formula. All right. So this is how to close 5 to 6K retainers and stack them until you're making $25,000 a month. And you can even make up to more. This is a thumbnail from my YouTube channel. And yes, I actually got up to $61,000 a month strictly from email marketing, not from coaching. That's some clown shit to say, oh, yeah, I made all this money, bro. Like, yeah, with copywriting, I made it with copywriting. It's like, no, you sold a copywriting course. That's what anybody can do, okay? But very few people actually know they're talking about this industry. So without further ado, on this training, you're going to get why being a beginner is actually an advantage, which is insane. The positioning shift that takes you from being ignored to being in high demand, and how to pitch systems instead of just copy, meaning that clients could pay up to 10 times more. I've had a single client pay me $21,000 a month, and I'll show the proof for all the nice try Diddy people in the comments. I love you. And then the exact 3 skills to separate broke copywriters from 4 to 5K retainers, okay? Step by step, 0 to premium clients in 4 months, just like Renata did, just like Jan did, just like Ted did, and many others as well. And near the end, Jan is joining us today, and he's going to share his complete 65-day transformation story on how he secured his first 3K a month client from only having $500 gigs here and there. So I'm very excited. Everybody drop a 2 in the chat and welcome Jan to this live stream. It's his first time, and we are pumped.
What's up, everybody?
And it's freaking late for him too, so give him a round of applause.
Yeah,
All right, and
it's
he's here.
12 a.m. here, and yeah, just keep going.
It's freaking midnight. That's some David Goggins shit. Let's go. Like, who's gonna carry the boats? All right, let's do this. So, who I am, real quick, for the people who don't know, and I have changed up this version slightly for the people that have watched it, but I used to make $2.90 an hour at my first job in Mexico, writing copy and also writing articles. Because newsflash, I have never shared this before ever, but I actually failed at copywriting at the very beginning of my journey about 4.5 years ago. But I went from that state, $2.90 an hour, to 45K plus a month in 3.5 years. My peak during that time period was 61, and now I'm hovering around 45 currently because I'm actually happier and I like my clients and I have a leaner team. I'm doing a shitload of traveling. If you watch my stories, you see me in a lot of different places. Like I was just in Hawaii and with a bunch of honeymooners, like by myself though. On the Pali coastline, it was freaking gorgeous. Like ancient tribes lived there for thousands of years. It was just, oh my gosh, like swam in the ocean, so many sharks, so many crazy shit. Like this life is insane and you can have it too, but only if you pay close attention. So I now have run the email for Russell Brunson, Alex and Layla Hermosi, and other 12-figure gurus that bought their mom an island on Fiji. Like the biggest self-development gurus in the entire game. I can't name names because I signed a super scary contract. Okay, but use your imagination. All right. I've generated $57 million from email. It's actually 58 now. I need to go update all my socials because we're still printing like crazy. All right, my mentor's surprise, or my mentor's promise, not my mentor's surprise. So, little story for you guys. When I hit my first 20K a month, I actually called up my mentor with a tear in my eye because I had a mentor in Mexico that I followed out there and I was working for him for free. And while I bought a course just like this one, but it was way crappier and didn't have any tech and strategy and it only taught copy. I had to learn all that myself, but I digress. I'm working for him for free. It was a brutal time period. I'm hearing gunshots at night in my apartment, bars on my windows, barbed wire on my fence. And I called him like a year and a half later after hitting 20K a month. And I said, I got a tear in my eye. I was like, brother, like, what can I ever do to pay you back? You took time out of your day working 12 hours to get on a call with me every day and review my copy. And he said, Christian, just promise me that you give back to others the same way I give back to you. So boom, here we freaking are. I'm giving you guys the whole playbook, the whole systems. You guys better go make 25K a month after this presentation because I'm not holding shit back. All right. So I'm giving you everything. So light up the chat if you're excited. Or maybe I'll turn it off. I don't know. Or maybe I'll go do a million other things I could be doing in my time. I freaking love you guys. Let's go. Mad love, fam. I wouldn't rather be anywhere else. I love being with you guys. It's my favorite time of the month. Except for my group coaching program. I absolutely love doing those calls because it just lights me up to help people. Cool. So enough said. You know what that is. I fulfilled a promise to my grandma I made 10 years ago. I'm paying all her bills. I'm in the process of buying her a house. Yes, this is not that crazy. It doesn't require that much money to buy a house. I know what you're thinking. Like, this is not that like unattainable for you. And I'm explaining how. And then I got a top floor apartment, hardly a penthouse. It's like 1,200 square feet, but I mean, technically it's a top floor apartment right next to the ocean and the most expensive part of my city and one of the most expensive cities in the US. And I moved my parents in with me for a time and we had a great time and they were crying tears of joy, very happy because they never lived anywhere this nice or seen a beautiful view every morning like this. And so then at the same time, I'm traveling in the world of 5-star resorts, working 5 to 10 hours a week when I want to. Like, sure, I work more because I have the coaching program, but when I want to dial it back and just do like the agency, I can work 5 to 10 hours a week, no problem. And if I want to work on growth, more like 20. Okay. But it wasn't always this way though. I'm here to tell you, like, a lot of you guys think I'm up here like, oh, Christian, wow, like you're so much better than us. Like, I can't tell you how many people say, oh, well, it's easy for you to say. It's like, dude, I literally did every step of the way, every step of the process, sucked, got my shit kicked in, got beat up the entire time. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? All right. It's easy to look on from the outside and say it's easier for him than me. You just didn't see all the bullshit I had to go through until I became like somewhat noticeable on social media. So here we are. All right. So scraping rotten chicken grease at Costco, $11 an hour. There's me. That's me. My ex-girlfriend took that photo. She's looking at me and I'm just looking back and that expression is, what the fuck is going on with my life right now? I'm like, this is not me. Why am I covered in this skin melting chemical and chicken grease with pimples all over my face? Like, this is not me. This is not my life. This is a living nightmare. Did that for 4.5 years. So there's a glow up before and after. I'm cleaning some hoods now. Shout out to the people that have worked in food service. You know how shitty cleaning hoods is with degreaser. It's a nasty job. But I'm grateful for it. So this is the moment I said, screw it and quit my job. And yes, I took that photo. And yes, at this moment, I was on LSD. I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys during this entire presentation. Now I'm sober for the last 1.5 years, not because I ever had a problem, but because I pursued a spiritual journey that has really tied me to the purpose of life. And so, yeah, but that was an insane moment because that was not the expression I'm making was not really the LSD. It was all that built up tension and rage from hating my life for 4.5 years. Drop a 1 in the chat if you know exactly what I'm talking about, whether that's you now, whether that was you in the past. I'm sure we've all hated our life at some point, and I feel for you guys and gals because I have been there. I've been cussing under my breath every moment of every day, hating my life, like wondering when it's ever going to end, like thinking depressing thoughts, like, so I published a book. And that was my gateway into writing. And then I moved to Mexico and eventually started at $2.09 an hour, worked up to more. Now, for people that want to get into online marketing, I do recommend living somewhere cheaper. Like, sure, it was a rough neighborhood, but I mean, this was my gym 1 block from me. So, hey, not too bad. Then I've met a bunch of awesome friends. I started this copywriting meetup. There's a huge hack out there to instantly connect yourself with other people and get clients. And that's to start a meetup in your city. I actually started a meetup in this city, St. Petersburg, and I referred one of my friends to Alex Hermosi, and now he's the head marketing manager for Alex Hermosi. So you never know. And this was a huge hack because I had just started copywriting, but I started a copywriting meetup group. And so now I'm surrounded by a bunch of people making 10K a month, 15K a month. And they're all trying to help me because they view me as the authority because I just texted some people and said, hey, let's all go here. It's not that big of a deal. I was scared, but I'll share more about that in a second. So Let's just take this down a notch as far as you guys thinking I'm like a superstar, okay? Because like I was actually the worst copywriter ever. In fact, I hated writing as a kid. I freaking despised it. And I would cry when I was like 5 to 10 and be like, Mom, can you please help me write my paper? And sometimes she did, sometimes she didn't. But yeah, I absolutely hated it. And it's a weird turn of events. I actually fell in love with it. I absolutely love what I do. I love writing. It lights me up inside. It's like communicating, but I don't have to go out and like do sales and talk to a bunch of people nonstop. But I do love talking to people if you guys can't tell, but you know what I mean. I just love the creative process of writing, like sitting down and just, oh, like how can I blend these words together to get an outcome, to sell something for my client and then have them message me and go, yes, dude, you knocked this out of the park. Let's go. Then you get the social proof, then you post in the Facebook groups, and then you skyrocket your career and you're just like making 61K a month pretty soon. It's crazy. It's a fun rocket ship, but it takes time and a system. Okay. So my mentor literally told me, this is trash. Like after I wrote 3 lines, he wrote, this is trash. You should just be a content writer. And it took me a long time, like 45 minutes to write those 3 lines because I had no idea what I was freaking doing. And I thought I wasn't cut for this. I didn't think I could freaking do this. I was terrified of client calls. For people that don't know, I used to be so insecure. Like, it's so easy for you guys to look at me now and go, oh, wow, Christian, you're so outgoing and it's so easy for you. It's like, yeah, right. I was the most insecure. I would literally shake in fear before getting on calls. I would take shots of alcohol in my childhood bedroom so I didn't stutter over my own words trying to talk to clients. My hands would sweat so much I couldn't take notes. And I'd have to rehearse what I was going to say 20 times in the mirror. And then when I'm finally shaking, getting on the call, and I push enter, my mind goes blank. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Not to mention I was broke and desperate. Sound familiar? I was living in Mexico, making $2.90 an hour, couldn't afford basic necessities. I had a different apartment in Portland with bed bugs and homeless people on my front porch and barely sleeping and sneaking onto the train because I couldn't afford a train ticket and watching everyone else succeed while I struggled. And I almost quit copywriting multiple times. I'm so glad I didn't. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I shudder to think where I would be in life if I had fucking quit. So if anybody here is thinking about fucking quitting, don't. I would not like think about where my grandma would be. She'd be fucked. I'm the only person in my family that can take care of her. I'm the only person that stepped up and made it happen. And this was the plan the entire time. Okay, so imagine actually how selfish it is to give up on yourself because you're not only giving up on yourself, you're giving up on everybody around you. I had no natural talent either. All right, because I hated writing and English wasn't even my strong suit, Like obviously I was an English speaker, but I wasn't getting great grades in English class. I had no sales background, no marketing degree. I was a college dropout, just a guy who refused to give up. And I sucked at everything I did in life up until this point. I wondered when I was going to be good at something. I wasn't really good at sports. I wasn't really good at anything. And it's like crazy because like once I had this mental shift that I'm going to explain to you guys in a second, I started getting good at everything. Like now I'm good at everything, which sounds intense, but it's actually true because I switched my mindset around it and I started believing in myself more and I started viciously hitting it, attacking my goals and not giving a flying fuck if I fell on my face. And it's transformed my life from the inside out. And I made every mistake possible. You guys think you're alone? I literally have not, from any of the students, I've never heard, like there's 70 plus students, I've never heard a problem that I have not already had many times and already solved many times, ever. And I've undercharged tons of clients making $200 a month, like going into credit card debt into Mexico. I had 40K in debt living in Mexico, undercharging, still working 80 hours a week, but still going into debt because I'm making $2 an hour. Okay. I missed deadlines. I didn't have systems. I lost clients because I couldn't deliver consistently. The turning point wasn't talent, it was systems. Okay. I stopped trying to be naturally gifted. I built frameworks I could follow. I created templates that made me look professional and I systematized everything so I couldn't fail. So, oh shit, I stand corrected. I rounded down. It was not $21,000 a month. It was $23,000 a month that I charged one client. Boom, bank account hit. I cannot tell you the excitement that hits when you go from extremely fucking poor to seeing a $23,000 check hit your bank account along with all these other five, five, six, five. This is not coaching. This is all email marketing clients from the agency. So drop a 5 in the chat that gets you fired the fuck up. If you want this life, drop a 5 in the chat and I'll hook you up. But I'm gonna wait until I see them. I can't tell you the feeling I had. Like I would scream at the top of my lungs. I'd sprint on my hallway with no shoes and I go, fuck, yes. I'd be like, fuck. I call up my parents and be like, yes, we're booking a fucking vacation. Let's go. We're staying in one of the nicest resorts in Miami. We're doing whatever the fuck we want. We're going to eat swordfish. We're going to eat fillets. We're just going to live it the fuck up. And we did. And so here's some client results. So 80K from one email. Hermosi replied to an email. Layla said she can't stop reading my emails. Here's a deliverability hack of literally just one tweak making the jump go up intensely. This was recently, like not too long ago. It was less than a year ago that I did this. And then this was 1 million collected in 12 hours. That was me speaking on stage. I won an award in a local entrepreneurship community because they noticed how much I was growing so fast. I mean, from 6K to 61K in 6 months was great, especially for a small local group. Total promo made 2.9 million. We screenshotted this at 2.4, but it went up after the ascension. So you can nice try Diddy me, but that's what happened. And see, Hermosi got that screenshot. So this is what he put for his video. It has a lot more views now, like 300K, but it was all about me. I literally did everything. I made the entire strategy. I implemented it. He did nothing. He gave me no feedback and he took all the credit. So thanks, Hermosi, but it's all good. This client thought email was dead before I joined. But enough about me. I just need to explain how far you can come. Okay. You can go from lost, scared, broke, and having no fucking clue what you can do with no confidence. You suck. You live with your parents, like feeling like a failure in every area of your life to absolutely knocking it out of the fucking park and living the life of your wildest dreams and doing whatever the hell you want, whenever the hell you want, because you deserve it. So here's why most copywriters stay broke. This is where it gets really crazy. So the delivery gap nobody talks about. What courses teach? How to write emails, get clients, be confident. What they don't teach is how to actually deliver and keep them. You have missed skills. So email service provider setup, like where you actually send the emails, email deliverability, email automated flows, like where the emails send out automatically. Key performance indicators, like how to track your results for your clients and how much money they're making. Tracking retention systems. And the result is 99% of copywriters stay stuck at $500 to $1,000 a month and they blame themselves. Or worse, they blame the industry. Oh, copywriting saturated, bro. It's like, no, it's not saturated at all. Are you kidding me? Like more businesses than ever are popping up like crazy because of AI. Like AI is making way more businesses than copywriters. Like we are growing like crazy. Like they're popping up all over Instagram. The students are closing them like crazy. There's never been a bigger opportunity to get into copywriting. So let the trolls and the FOMO haters get scared. Well, the rest of us go make a fat bag and do whatever the hell we want. So let them be scared. That's not us. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're not scared. If you're a savage that doesn't give a shit and you know this fucking works. Okay. So what courses teach? They teach you how to write emails, get clients, and be confident. Literally every other single course out there just teaches how to write emails or other forms of copy, how to get clients with old, outdated strategies. By the way, the strategies change every fucking 6 months. So you better have someone that's actually doing it like me, helping you. And then the rest of them don't actually have clients, which is crazy. I love what I do, so I'm never going to stop running my agency and closing clients. I love it. It's so fun. And so who would I be if I'm making all my money from coaching and not doing the actual thing, which is crazy. It's crazy to even have to say that. Okay. So that's why it feels rough out there. All right. Because it is. It's like a little fugazi going on out there in the wild, but that's not us. That's not here. Like, me, the game. And yeah, I bought a 5K course that just taught copy. And other programs just teach you, you know? Yeah, I already said all this. This is fine. So here's the game changer. Why being a full stack email marketer changes everything. Let's set the baseline for this and get deep in the tactics. Don't worry, they're coming. We got to set the frame for this though, okay? So copywriters are a commodity because they're competing on price. That's why when you send a bunch of cold outreach pitches, you're like, oh, I sent to 1,000 people and barely anybody replied. Yeah, no shit, because they're dime a dozen these days. Welcome to 2025. You have to be a full stack email marketer. You have to know the tech. You have to know the strategy, which is not that crazy. It sounds crazy when you say the big word tech, but really it's just like set up some automations, trigger, block, email, block, you know, just set up a flow. And I show you step by step. So this is how you charge 5 to 6K a month and keep your clients for 12 plus months. Clients want to stay with me. They can't leave because they know they're not going to find anybody better. And so if you take my strategies from this presentation, you go out there and you apply it to your clients, they're going to feel the same way with you. And it's literally about how you frame everything, okay? Let me move my camera. There we go. Looking at you guys now. That feels better. Okay, so student proof. I'll show some screenshots in a second, but Jan hit 3K a month in 65 days from 500, not zero. Whoops. And then Ted hit 4K a month and got his clients great results, 70% open rates, 200K webinar. I posted on my Instagram if you want to check it out, the video. Renata got a 5K client, struggling for years, closed a 5K client in 4 months while she had a busy military job, while she had family pulling on her and a bunch of other excuses to not make it happen. She would message me like late at night and get her shit done and close a client. And she went from struggling to now having money and being able to move where she wants to move. Then me, you already heard about me, and I'm not special. I just treated this like a real fucking career and job. Literally that's the only difference between me and everybody else and other gurus as well, is because I didn't treat this like make passive income, bro, or yeah, passive income. This is a biz op. Let's see how much I can work or how little I can work and how much I can make, which is great. And you can do that after a certain point, but there is a learning curve. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you like there isn't a learning curve for a new skill you're trying to learn. You know what I mean? It's going to take longer at the beginning, and then you're going to cut your time in half and then cut it again in half and cut it again. Especially with AI, you can do everything insanely fast. It's ridiculous. Let's get freaking wired, everybody. I'm chugging an energy drink. It's almost 8. Let's get freaking fired up. So here's how to find the 5K clients, even if you have zero experience, okay? Because remember, Renata only had a few $500 gigs here and there before she closed her first, 5K client. So why not you? I'm not going to chew in your ear. I just needed some little nicotine buzz. So now here's where to find your 5K clients. If I'm a beginner, oh, wait, that needs to go at the end. One sec. So here's the warmth ladder. Start warm and work down as needed. Okay. So the warmest way, this is a short version. I have an insanely robust version that's an hour and a half that I don't have time to share today inside a full stack email marketer. But here's the tidbit, what I can share in the short time frame. Start like the way that a lot of coaches and gurus out there teach how to get clients is actually literally fucking backwards. Literally, if you did everything backwards that they said, you'd make more money, which is insane. But it's like they teach cold email is the best way to get clients, and it makes sense because you're an email marketer, I guess. But no, it doesn't, because that's the coldest, hardest way to get clients. Because guess what? You're a nobody with an email. You don't have you don't have a picture probably attached because it hurts deliverability. You don't have your social media profiles talking about you and like who you are, what you do. And no one knows who you are. You're just a faceless random person saying, hey, can you please give me some money? All right. So instead, go for the warmest clients first, which is friends, family, past colleagues. And next, you get to warmer people, which is referrals, Facebook groups, and community members, like actual in-person live events as well. And the coldest version is Instagram DMs. So, in cold email and most forms of outreach, unless you already talk to them from a Facebook group. So I'm a big fan of going warmest, easiest way to get clients first, and then milking each step of the process as much as I can until I'm the coldest and hardest. And then I usually don't even reach that level because I'm really good at getting clients in between. And I get a lot of referrals. All right, so specific places to find these 5K elusive 5K clients. They're not that elusive. They're literally everywhere. It's just about getting their attention and making you stand above everybody else. Okay, so Nothing Held Back is a fantastic Facebook group, tons of clients, also a lot of copywriters. Other industry specific groups are great. School groups related to coaching offers. That's fantastic. Look at the coaches that coach coaches. Sounds funny and ridiculous, but there are a bunch of coaches out there that coach coaches, and you can find their school groups and their Facebook pages, and you can go pitch the coaches inside of there. And you can look up the price yourself and be like, oh, all these people paid 30K to get coached by a coach on Coaching Coaches. Well, they must have 5K to pay me, right? Next, you can go to Instagram. So I like to go to the Facebook ads library like this. Now it's called Meta Ad Library. And I like to type in keywords like coach, course, academy. You'll see a lot of the same brands over and over. You got to kind of scroll through these, but I'm looking for a course that I can promote. And this changes literally every time I do this. Dementia coaching. I don't know about that. Zach at Nas.io. That could be a SaaS. Oh, he's got a webinar. Cha-ching. Let's freaking go. See, this is a great client here. Okay, so what you do is you follow him on Facebook immediately, and then you go to Instagram next. Oh, and little tip here, if you do site colon, then type in where you want to go, then do a space and the keyword, it will bring up the person you're looking for. Cool. So this is the guy here. This is all the same guy. So now what I do is I follow him. All right, now I'm training the algorithm. Might as well follow Alex. Now I'm training the algorithm to show me coaches that will want to pay me. Comprende? So then what I do is I get on my phone, I start scrolling, I drink like pre-workout, ridiculous amount of caffeine, I blast some music, and I start scrolling through my social media. And I'm like, yeah, this is fun. And then when I see somebody, I start pitching them. And I use this app on my phone called Pace to have pre-canned responses. And I'll share a pitching framework with you guys in a sec and all that. Or I'll explain a pitching framework. I don't want to like show you something literally what to say, because if I share anything with you guys, people are going to go fry it to oblivion and it's not going to work. And then people are going to come back crying, oh, Christian, your strategy doesn't work. I knew copywriting was a scam. I knew it. See, like copywriting is a fucking scam. The entire industry of copywriting is a scam. See how ridiculous that sounds? It's like, oh, cool. So every time a company uses words to sell something, now that's a scam. Like, well, fuck, Costco is a scam. Walmart's a scam. It's like, all right, colleges are a scam. That's for sure. Um, okay, so then I'll share some more strategies right here. All right, another one I like is Kajabi Heroes. Now, these people are about to go get absolutely bombarded by a bunch of people, so keep an eye out for that. But I might give you guys one hurdle and make you go, ah, fuck it, I'll show you. But just get to these guys quick because I'm about to fry these people. Yeah, the more you get hyped you guys get in the chat, the more I'll like show specific examples because I could just drop it off. Okay, so join this group. It's 50,000 people you can go pitch. And there's like Chrome extensions and stuff where you can go get their information out of it and you can have a VA pull their socials from it, or you can run it through AI and say, hey, I want the socials of all these emails and just boom, boom, boom. And then you open them up in 50 tabs and then you start copying and pasting your pitch using this app called Blaze, Blaze.today. And you just hit shortcuts to like pitch all these people, and then boom, you got 50 done in like an hour. And inside of my live coaching program, Full Stack Email Marketer, I wrote a post on for social media and I pitched 30 people in 30 minutes. Like, well, everything in 30 minutes, like the post, and I shared how to do it with AI and how to do everything with AI. And so there's no excuse not to do the stuff you need every day to go get clients. Cool. And if I can do it, you can do it too. Even if it takes you longer now, like just take it takes practice and also takes having the strategy. And I break down the exact strategy and exactly the fastest way to do it inside the program. And I just also told you right now as well. Like I explain it more in depth though in the program. So school communities, I meant to spell that school. There you go. And then LinkedIn. So search for course creators, entrepreneurs, all that. And then ClickFunnels 2.0 user groups. That's where a bunch of online marketing people are. There's a lot of entrepreneurs in this group, so just keep an eye out. Like you're gonna have to filter better for these. So how to qualify prospects using the 20 to 10% rule. All right, so now you know how to find clients. Now let's talk about how to qualify the right clients, right? So you don't waste a bunch of time getting on the phone with the wrong person that's just gonna want to be like, you know, milking you a little bit. So if you charge 5K a month, they should be making 50K a month already. And look for them already running ads. They have active launches and an existing email list, and they have a webinar or some type of offer that gives you a chance to opt into their email list. Okay. Obviously, red flags are no email list, no budget, just starting out. Just protect yourself and their energy. But hey, it doesn't hurt to go have a conversation and practice, so you're not like stuttering and being nervous. With enough reps and practice, it becomes impossible to be nervous with anything. So part two, the pitch that closes without social proof or experience. Oh, what? It's crazy. So the secret to pitching without sounding like everybody else. Okay, so don't copy this word for word. This is not going to freaking work. Not only are you hurting everybody, but it's not going to freaking work if you do that. But capture the idea behind this, make it your own way, and it will work. Okay. So tease a hidden issue. But first, you're going to want to point out something funny or witty about the business. Like I'm really good at coming up with funny or witty stuff that I see out in the wild. Uh, like for example, here's a funny thing to say. I'm dropping you guys some straight heat. So drop a two in the chat. If I see at least 10 people drop a two, I'll tell you what to say for the hook. This is a funny ass hook that catches attention like crazy. Okay, I think I saw six. Like, let's see a few more twos. All right, you guys got it. Okay. So what you say is for biz op coaches specifically, especially if they're more on the guy side, they might find it funnier. Actually, the women too will probably find it funny. Um, but the guys understand it better because it's kind of guy humor. You can say, hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate you not flexing on us super hard, like Wes Watson. Sincerely, your followers. Like I say that and people laugh and come back to me all the time, and it's working like crazy for me. And also, I'll say, yo, so glad to hear that CoffeeZilla hasn't caught wind of you yet. Just kidding. So, because it's like a joke. If you look up CoffeeZilla, he's constantly gaslighting people for being scammers. Like Grant Cardone's a scammer. Like Stephen Georgi's a scammer. Like all these people, everybody's a scammer to him. It's just funny. So you'll make him chuckle. Oh, also, I'll like do tongue-in-cheek stuff. Like if I notice a guy named Luke who has a Lambo logo behind him, I'll say, yo, we got to change your handle to Lambo Luke. Like Lambo rule is flexing on you. And they usually get a kick out of that if they're in the younger audience because they understand what that means. And it means showing off and stuff. And then it gets their attention, then it closes. That was literally a 2K close with a hook. I gave one of the students and they went out and closed someone for 2K. And guess what? This person said that, oh no, I'm not down to pay any money. And then the student came back to me saying, what happened, man? You said this Person would close, and I said, don't ever listen to what they say. Tell them why they need to give you 2 grand. And I told him exactly what to say, and then he got 2 grand out of him. You know what I mean? So I rarely take no for an answer from people, because it's just like no, they talk with their tone and their energy, not their words. So then after I have a delicious hook like that, I next tease an open issue like, yo, quick heads up. I noticed your open rates are probably tanking based on your segmenting structure. That's not the best example, but I did that on purpose because I don't want everyone to go fry a really crazy example out there. Um, because you're not going to know exactly what their open rates are, right? And so a better idea is like here's a more vague one that's better that could work. Hey, quick heads up. I have a secret email strategy that can make you an extra 40% on average. That's enough. You just dangled a carrot and had a curiosity hook, and now they're like, oh, what is it? What is it? Now, if you have social proof, drop a proof bomb. I use this one fix to take a client from 8K a month to 47K a month in 30 days. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Christian, what if I don't have any social proof? Well, if you decide to work with me inside of Full Stack Email Marketer, I'll give you a doc with all my social proof, and you can go out there and use it and pitch clients using that. And then also you can say on the sales calls, you can say, I have the strategy that made Alex Ramosi $2.9 million and got this YouTube video made with 300K views. What's up? They're usually super impressed, unless they don't know who he is for whatever crazy reason. They live under a rock. So dangle the carrot. I'll show you exactly how to fix this in a 15-minute screen share. So this isn't like, hey, get on a sales call with me. This is, hey, I'm ready to solve your problem. Let's talk about it. And then when they get on the call, you use the closing framework and you close them, which I'm going to also show you guys how to do on this call. So hopefully you book some extra time for this because I'm just getting freaking started and I'm dropping some crazy ass heat for you guys. All right. Then you can add this in there too. This part's more optional, but you can say it's not a sales call. Also, when you say something's not something, they're usually going to think it's not that. If you catch my drift, they're going to think, oh, it is actually that. It's sort of like, you know, my ex every 5 seconds being like, I'm not a gold digger. Here's reason number 549 why I'm not a gold digger. I'm like, okay, wow, I didn't ask you for the 50th time today, but okay, thanks, I guess, for that. And then boom, of course she was a crazy gold digger. So it's just like that. So maybe don't lead with not a sales call, but you can say, I just want to show you what's possible. Or you can say it's not a sales call and be a little bit more like forward. That's actually pretty funny. I would use that. It's not a sales call. Pinky promise. Because everybody knows it is. Why hide it? Whatever. We're all in the game out here together. Let's play it. This is a fun ass game. Okay, so here's the 17-step email profit formula. So you're going to actually pick and choose pieces of the 17-step email profit formula and put it into your outreach so that you can go close clients like crazy. You're also going to go put it into your sales call process, which I'll show you. It's not really a sales call. It's like, just say, hey, this is my offer. Do you want it or not? And yeah, you go from there. I suck at sales. Like you do not have to be good at sales to close clients. You just have to say, hey, here's my offer, and just say, hey, everybody, I'm the best at what I do for all these reasons. And I was good at that even before all the Alex Hormozi social proof happened to me. And before all that, I was closing 5K clients. And so this freaking works. All right. Newsflash, if you know how to do a better job than everybody else, you're going to get all the jobs. All right. Or even if you sound like you do because you have my strategies, you're going to get all the jobs. That's the secret. That's why copywriting feels saturated. That's why people are struggling and stuck. I literally have people in my DMs saying, hey, bro, I have no idea what's wrong. I'm stuck at 2K a month after doing this for 8 years. I have so much sympathy for that because it's like, yes, you can literally get stuck forever and then think, oh, is it really possible to close a 5K client? Yes, we're doing it all the time. It's not that crazy. They're popping up all the time. Email marketing is an extremely high ROI marketing service. It's like, if not the highest, because you don't have to pay for anything. It's free out the gate. And also an average price for a client or a marketing agency is 5K. So often when I tell people my price is 5K, they sigh with relief. They're like, oh, thank God he didn't say more, because probably that's going to be 6 or 7. That's what they're thinking in their head. So I'm telling you, this shit is crazy. So I'm gonna share with you this formula. I can't share the doc, but you can screenshot it. The guru's got to keep the secrets. Just kidding. Secrets. It's all because of secrets. I should call this email secrets. Oh, wait, I think someone took that already. Okay, so what you do is you duplicate this doc and you change the client name right here and you say, you show up to the sales call and you're like, what's up, everybody? This is a custom plan I made for you guys. I highlighted the stuff that you have or what the stuff you need. The stuff in orange is what you need. The stuff in green is what we have. And let's talk about how we can improve your email list. Because guess what? When we implement this whole system, it makes on average at least an extra 253%. And I did this across a 9-figure client and I have all the social proof and screenshots, etc. Cool. Then you show them a quantitative report and a qualitative report. Quantitative report means like report related to numbers. This only takes me 20 minutes to fill out. I wouldn't give you a data entry job or give you some shit that I'm not actively doing myself for my own clients. Okay. That's what other courses and gurus out there are doing. I did not touch my beard. I touched my nose for everybody watching. People keep saying I touch my beard all the time, but I haven't touched my beard in case you haven't noticed. Okay, then you have some Google Postmaster stats. If you don't know what this is, don't worry. It takes like 5 seconds to grab the screenshot. Super easy. IP is improving. Nice. Then you grab screenshots from the sales, like the automated emails and the broadcast emails. And then you calculate email revenue over gross revenue with some simple math. And then you diagnose where we are, where we want to go. All right. Then you have a qualitative report here. This is just a short summary the AI makes for you saying, hey, here's why the data showed up this way. I know what I'm doing as a marketer, and this is my interpretation of it. And here's the plan and path to improve it. Okay. So it's not that deep. This is easy. Okay. So yeah, screenshot this. But yeah, basically your offer is 30 broadcast emails and 10 workflow emails. Okay, workflow emails are emails that go out automatically. You give them one 30-minute coaching call a week and then the weekly email reports, and then you charge them 5K for this. This is exactly it. Cool. So yeah, just use this system. You don't need experience. Here's 3 assets that make you look like an expert. So I showed you the weekly report template, quantitative and qualitative. And then I'm going to show you a custom funnel, a mind map that I make for my clients in like 15 minutes before my sales calls. Oh no, don't make me sign in right now. All right, I want to show you guys this, so just hold up. Who's talking at me in all caps? I know you. Oh, Louis Vuitton. All right, here we go. All right. Whoops. That's not the one I want to show you. This is one that's insanely complicated, obviously, because that's a different client, but this one is not. All right, so here's an example of a mind map that I'll show a client on call, and I'll just say, okay, so here's your entire funnel, all right? We start with the ads. Then we have the VSL book a call funnel, or we have the opt-in webinar free training funnel, okay? But they all function very similarly. So now the rest of these bubbles here are the 17-step email profit formula. And this looks crazy actually, but they're just repeated over and over. And I have a lesson that explains exactly how to set this up in 15, 20 minutes in Full Stack Email Marketer. It looks crazy, but that's the point. This is mostly just copy and pasted. Like either they take an action or they don't take an action. And then you send them down a tree. And so mostly what I'm doing is just like copying and pasting these blocks, and then it looks super long and robust. And then The same way some of you guys feel overwhelmed when you look at this, the client is going to look at this and go, wow, this person really knows what the hell they're doing. All right, let's sign up. And even if this not isn't 100% accurate, no one's going to know because I'm telling you, if you have me on your side, you already know more than majority of the coaches know out there about their own email list or email marketers and copywriters in general. Because I have a lot of experience. I've been doing this a while. So if you use my strategies, you will sound like an authority and it doesn't matter. You know, they're not going to be questioning you and be like, oh, yeah, but this, like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, they're taking notes and they're grateful for your time because your status is up here. And that's the difference between being a full stack email marketer and copywriter. Your status is down here. And that's why people will treat you like a janitor in a high school when you're a copywriter and be asking for rewrites and charging low rates and stuff. But then when you're a full stack email marketer, it's like you're an executive consultant. They're like, yes, thank you so much for your time. Yes, we'll pay the 1K an hour invoice right now. Like, oh, I'm sorry I was a minute late. You know, I know your time's valuable. Like literally that's stuff that people say to me all the time. And again, I'm not special. It's just a fact. Okay. And then the North Star KPI dashboard. So that was the section I showed you of email revenue over gross revenue. And their weekly report. It was easy. It took like 5 seconds to set up. Just a quick little equation in Excel. So these do the selling for you. You don't have to read books on selling. You don't have to be charismatic and like outgoing and like practice in front of the mirror and like be like, oh, I'm a charismatic salesman. I'm going to show up and close these guys. It's like, no, just take all the bullshit away and all the pressure aside and just use logic to explain your strategy. And then they close and they're like, oh, literally, we have 100+ applicants for this email marketing job. Hands down, you're the most prepared person we've ever talked to. So we literally have to give you the job. That's exactly what the 12-figure guru who bought his mom an island on Fiji told me, his right-hand man to be exact. He said, Christian, hands down, you're the most prepared copywriter I've ever talked to. I want you to work with me. And also I want you to work on secret other companies that we're building with the same brand and you can own a piece of it. Okay. This isn't that deep. This is just having a system. If you have the system, you are the king. End of story. And I had to fight long and hard to get this system through so much pain, so losing so many 5K clients, like so much trial and hardship, so much like screaming into my pillow and like wanting to rip my hair out and like wondering why things aren't going my way, you know? And so here's an example of some return on investment math that closes deals like hotcakes. All right. So if a client has 20,000 unengaged subscribers, you know, because you have people you can email, right? Then you have people you can't email. Those are the unengaged people, but they're still subscribed. Makes sense? I know a secret strategy that can re-engage these people at an 18% rate up to a 40% rate. I just didn't put the 40% in here. And literally nobody else on the planet knows this re-engagement strategy to re-engage at a 40%. They literally fired this guy on that 12-figure gurus team who's been doing this for 20 years because he didn't know how to fix this problem and dive deep into the root of a problem and fix it. I did. And I just came up with this idea in my sleep and then asked a few friends and then implemented it. And it's been working like crazy in all my clients. All right. And again, I'm not special. I'm just a guy who has ideas and tests stuff and just literally holds a microscope to my problems and then just does everything one step at a time. That's how I run my life. Okay. So if you have a 2% conversion rate on a $100 product, that's 7.2K a month. All right. That's for ecom. Like if we're running a coaching offer and that's a 5K PIF, like paid in full, oof. You know, we're printing money right now, you know, and they'll easily be able to afford your 5K retainer. And then your job is to show them the opportunity cost of them not hiring you. You're like, dude, you're going to lose tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, or if not millions of dollars by not hiring me, which was the case with some of my biggest clients. They literally would have lost millions of dollars by not having me fix their email marketing. So it becomes less of a sell when you talk to these people and you have all these strategies because you're just like, yes, duh, you need me. Nobody else knows any of this stuff because it was learned through trial and error. And there's literally zero courses or free content out there in the game about this stuff. If this gets you hyped up, drop a 1 in the chat. Let's freaking go. We're literally learning stuff that no one else is talking about in the entire game or anywhere else online, which actually blows my mind. because I'm not that special. You know, I'm just a guy who tries hard and tests shit. And I just view this like being a doctor or lawyer. So if people say to you, you're too expensive, AKA they don't have money to pay you, here's how to handle it. Like reframe it. I'm not cheap. Because I deliver results, not just words. So I'm going to tie a direct ROI, return on investment, to my retainer. And if I don't, just get rid of me. I'm month to month with all my clients and they still stay on for 12 plus months. All right. And a lot of these clients I had to learn, through getting a strategy and the hard way and stuff. But I did actually keep my first client ever for 2.5K a month. I kept him for over 2 years, which was great. And so, yeah, I learned everything with that client, honestly. And it was a miracle they didn't want to let me go along the way. Because like we rode the wave. Like, we went to spam, we recovered, we went back and forth, and now I have literally math equations and processes, so you never have to worry about that again. So if you're ever questioning what to do, you just like plug in a couple numbers into this framework, and you go, oh, okay, that's what I do, and then now you go do it within like 5-10 minutes. It's super simple, but only if you know what you are doing. So show them the math. What does staying broke cost them? you know, Position it as an investment, not as an expense, because they need you. It's not like you're selling coaching. Selling coaching is way harder. You're selling a service, you know, because like this is like done for you. It's not like done with you or any of that. And so if they can't afford 5K a month, they're not your client anyway, you know. And you only want to work with people that can afford you, because it's a waste to close a 5K client just to lose them next month. I would never sign a client just to collect a quick 5K and then have them leave. Never, never, because it's a waste of my freaking time. I could be taking calls making 65K, because at 5K times 12 plus months, like, you know, there's no way I'm going to waste my time. But I love you guys. I'm here for you guys. And this is my favorite part of the month. So let's run this shit. So this is the exact offer stack. I already shared a little bit of this, so I'll briefly cover this. This is how you charge 5 to 6K a month for 40 emails. And this is what I shared with the 17-step email profit formula earlier. So there we go. Here's why this offer structure keeps them coming back and staying with me for 12 plus months, even though I'm month to month with all my clients. So you're not just a copywriter. You're managing their entire email profit system. You become irreplaceable, not just another high school janitor copywriter. All right. You get 10 workflow updates, and you're always optimizing and always valuable, and you're always dangling a carrot showing them what's coming next and how you can make things better. You have weekly reports showing your value constantly. No, a lot of other people don't do this in the game. I can't tell you. I lose clients sometimes, and they go out and get screwed by other agencies or freelancers who don't know what they're doing. And then they come crawling back to me saying, please take me back. I'm like, okay, but the price is higher now. So like that's the power and positioning and leverage that you have at your disposal. And so when you have me on your team, not only are you a copywriter or even email marketer, you're a strategist for their entire business. Like you don't have to charge them for that, but if you can give them little tidbits of information here and there based off of what I teach you in the lessons, like a little tweak in their funnel here and there, like you more than pay for yourself. They're like, geez, this guy or gal is insanely valuable. How the hell am I ever going to get rid of them? They know infinitely more than me because they've, have a bunch of clients and they've seen a bunch of stuff and how it's working out there in the wilds. And so they need you. All right. So I'll talk more about this in a second. Let's talk about pricing your offer. So you can start at 5K a month for new clients, and you can increase to 6K after you hit a KPI, key performance indicator, for 3 to 6 months. Never go below 3K a month unless you absolutely have to. I mean, for some of your first few clients, you can do 1,000, 2,000, but if you reach a certain point in your life where you're never going to go lower, like I will never go lower than 5K for a client. Even then, that's kind of a waste of my time because I'm just like on such a rocket ship, with like 5K, 6K clients and $23,000 payments from some clients. And so multiple clients at 5K is better than one client at 15K. Hear me out. Because If you have three clients and somehow you lose one or two, you still have one. Oh wait, I'm not trying to flip you guys off. Whoops, that was close. Um, yeah, because you have more job security. So I sleep like a freaking baby every night because I have a lot of clients and they're all paying. And if I lose one or two, who gives a shit? It's like I have way more job security. At Costco, I was scared of getting fired more than I am now. So copywriters that are scared of getting fired, like you just don't have enough clients. You just don't have the skills or strategies to know that you're going to keep your clients. And I talk people through that. That's part of my journey with full stack email marketers that like if a student is worried about their client leaving, I immediately start talking with them. And I'm like, hey, here's the exact plan that we're going to give your client so that they feel like they can't leave. Because I don't really lose clients that often. I just turn into a sales call again. I close the fuck out of them. So I'm going to teach you how to do the same exact thing. It's like, okay, go have fun hiring some other fool out there who's going to do a shitty job. Just being frank with you guys. So remember the 10 to 20% rule in pricing. All right, so here's exactly how to deliver, just some brief information on it. The systems that keep paying. So here's the tech stack, and it's simpler than you think. Don't let this intimidate you. Not imitate. You can imitate me, that's fine. That's what the point of this training. Imitate me all you want. I want to see screenshots of you guys making 25K after this presentation. Cool. So email service providers, that's what ESP stands for. So Klaviyo, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, these are examples of softwares where you can send emails and they're very, very easy to use. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of like mentally challenged when it comes to softwares like Photoshop or stuff like that, like, or GarageBand or like some softwares that people view as basic, but you know, these are really easy softwares compared to those things. Like it's hardly even a software. It's a website you go, you put the email in, you set it up, you push send, boom. You know what's going to happen ahead of time because you asked me, you asked the community. There's no guesswork when you work with me. We ensure that you keep your client. We ensure that you don't screw anything up. Then deliverability. So DNS setup, like some of the records that connect your email to your domain, your email address, then automated emails that go out. So welcome sequences, cart abandon, re-engagement. Whoa, that nicotine gum's intense. All right. I teach all of you this step by step, and you'll be super confident in 2 to 3 weeks max. Okay. Even if you're a complete beginner, because it's not that crazy, not that hard. That's why people are making a lot of money really quick with this industry because it's really easy. For some reason, some people think it's challenging, but it's just because there's no good teachers out there teaching good stuff. And then they're hearing a bunch of bullshit out there like AI is going to steal their job, which is ridiculous. Like, let them all think that while we make the fat bag. Okay. So, North Star KPI tracking, I explained this a little bit. Most people reside around 5 to 10%. You just want to get to 15% or up to 30% email revenue over gross revenue. So that's email revenue over gross revenue. So that's the amount your email is making over the entire business. Okay. So here's my client retention system. And guess what? If you're just good at your job, you retain your clients. So if you hear FUD out there from people saying, copyright is a scam, copyright doesn't work, it's like, no, you're a scam. You're scamming your clients because you don't know what the hell you're doing. You're a scam, not email marketing, because you're not good. You need a system, you need a strategy, and it's okay. We all started somewhere, so present this week's strategy, dangle the next optimization and carrot. you know, ask about upcoming launches and then offer to make a new launch plan. I literally give you checklists and entire systems and swipes. I just released a 17,000 email swipe file into the program. I'm also releasing physical books for anybody that wants one inside the program. So you can, or PDF, so you can put it into Claude or ChatGPT. You can have an email for anything you want, over 45 different niches and verticals. Let that sink in. Like, what if you knew that these emails were printing and written by a full stack email marketer like me who's crushing it for giant gurus like Hermosi, Brunson, 12-figure guy? It's worth its weight in gold. And I've personally reviewed every email that's in there. Either I wrote it or my team wrote it as I grew. Cool. And then update the North Star KPI dashboard. So that's like, hey, here's the projection of where we're going. Are we still at 5% email revenue over gross revenue, or are we scaling up to 30%? And here's the plan to heal it if we're not. Even if you're doing a shitty job, as long as you have a plan to improve it, you're not going to lose your client. Because it's all about how you frame yourself, you know? So if I can do it, you can do it too. Okay, so now you got like the basic delivery system for these clients. I have lessons covering some of that stuff that are like an hour long. I'm doing as best I can to keep this somewhat short. We're actually doing really good on time, so just stick around a little bit longer. So stacking to 25K a month, this is the exciting and fun part, okay? So this is simple math everybody overthinks, all right? All you need is 5 clients to make 25K a month. And literally, I'm freaking doing this. I actually choose to make more than 25. I'm at 45 now, and I've been up to 61, but I actually like my life a lot better now at 45 just from the agency, not coaching, obviously. So I like 5 clients because it's full-time work, just about, especially if you're a beginner, that's pretty full-time because it's going to take you to a little bit longer to learn stuff. Now I can do 5 clients with my eyes closed, especially with AI. Holy shit. I can write a week's worth of emails in an hour, and that's slow. I can do it much faster. I'm just being conservative for you guys. I generally tend to be conservative with my estimations if you haven't noticed. Like I round down a bit. Okay, so 3 clients is part-time, but three is a really nice safe number. So if you want to make 15K a month to travel the world with 3 clients and live the life of your wildest dreams and take your girl on vacations and, eat at fancy dinners with your boys or like get a diamond bracelet or do whatever the hell you want, like this is the exact recipe here. So get freaking excited, all right? Because this is everything. If you want to buy your grandma a house or your parents a house or retire them, like my friend Yogi, who's 21, he's making 30, 40K a month, and he's paid his family's bills, his parents, his brothers and sisters for the last 2 years at 21 years old, despite being from a third world country with a dirt floor and no one in his village even has a computer. If you want that, listen fucking closely, okay? Because if he can do it, if I can do it, you can do it too. All right, so it's 1 client at 5K a month. Then you get a second client for 10K a month. See the pattern here? 3 is 15, 4 is 20, 5 is 25. Very simple stuff. Like this is not complicated. I make this whole process very easy for you guys. Okay. And so each one of these steps has a different process of like, hey, do this short little checklist every day so that you make sure you have good clients coming in. Or here's a checklist to assess whether we should drop a shitty client or keep them on while we get a new one coming in. So this is extremely formulaic and there's a reason for everything because I've literally seen it all. And that's why I'm doing coaching because it's like shit, I've like literally seen it all. This is so fun. It became very organic. I never thought I'd be a coach or a guru as they call it. That was never the plan. It's actually kind of scary that some copywriting gurus, that was the plan from the beginning. They're like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do the bare minimum, do copy for like 2 months and then become a guru and quit. That's literally one of my competitors. He quit after 2 months. Now he says, I'm making 80K a month after 12 months of doing this. It's like with copywriting, it's like, no, it's just the course. That guy actually hates me. I think because he's scared of me, but like I've only been nice to him. So the realistic timeline. All right. So if you really put your head down, you really focus and we really talk together and get your mindset and BS like through all this stuff, you can do it in 3 months to 10K. Okay. Because I got my first 5K client and then I scaled up about 1K a month consistently over the next 2 years, roughly on average. And so after the first year, I was at 12K, and that was conservative. I was going extremely slow and stuff. But I've since then, and this was me shooting in the dark. Remember, this is me shooting from the hip, doing it on my own, making every mistake under the sun. And so I've condensed this 12-month process into a 3-month process to making 10K a month. As long as you're dialed in, as long as you listen to what I say. Working full time, obviously. You're not going to be working part time to get to 10K a month. Good freaking luck. Especially if you don't have a strategy. Just, yeah, forget it if you don't have the strategy. All right, 6 to 12 months to 25K if you follow the system. So instead of an extra year added on, you can do it in 6 to 12 months. All right, and here's exactly the formula, the timeline here. So if you really put your head down and really focus, you could be at 25K a month 6 months from now. Let that freaking sink in. You could have this view behind you. I mean, the green screen, you can do whatever you want. Okay, so a little time management hack because yeah, it'll feel like you're working full time with 5 clients at the beginning because you're going to be doing some stuff for the first time. So instead of me getting a task to do and just doing it in 30 minutes, you're going to have to watch a lesson for an hour or 30 minutes, learn how to do it, and then go do it. And then it'll be quick after that. But you got to invest initial time up front, right? Duh. Like you'd be shocked that some people don't understand this, but I was one of them too. So it's all good. Like just setting realistic expectations here. Okay. This is a real skill. It's not like, you know, it, making 25K a month, you got to do some real work and it's a real skill. Okay. But then once you got it down, it's easy. And then you can go travel and have fun. So yeah, each client is about 1 hour of writing per week. That's 7 emails with AI conservatively. I can do much faster. I can do them in like 15 to 20 minutes. I mean, just so you have perspective, I can write an email in 7 minutes without AI. So with AI, I'm just ridiculously fast. All right, 5 clients equals 5 hours of writing per week. And then a 30-minute coaching call on top of that for each client. That's 2.5 hours a week of coaching calls. Then the weekly reports take about 2.5 hours a week. And so, except for a couple extra tech tasks they might ask you for, like, hey, set up this workflow, put a trigger here, put a block here, send the email here, super easy stuff. Bare minimum, you're at 10 hours a week. So if you want to pull back and just do the bare minimum for 2 weeks and just chill, that's 10 hours a week at 25K a month. And I've literally done that. I've done a lot more, obviously, but so essentially that's 2.5K an hour, so if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. But yeah, sometimes you will have like, hey, could you do this extra thing for me once in a while? Like, could you set up a workflow? Then, this might push to 15, 20, but still 20 hours at 25K a month is insane. Like how many other careers let you do that? And this isn't going freaking anywhere because email marketing is the oldest freaking online marketing profession. Email's been around forever. They freaking need us. Ad costs are through the roof if they don't have us. For the business to survive, they need an email guy. So you will weather any kind of downturn in the economy or anything because these people have to make money. And that's why this is COVID proof. And that's why this is like, dare I say, recession proof. Because people need you no matter what. It's sort of like the people at Costco. Like, are we just going to stop letting people work at Costco? No, people need food. No, people need to sell freaking courses. People need their businesses to run. So even if, it ebbs and flows a little bit and you're selling a different offer, doing a different thing, you're always going to have work and be in high demand, because these people have to make money. Online marketing is booming. In fact, when there's a crisis of some sort, usually online marketing booms even more. I mean, look at COVID. Okay. So use AI to batch everything. Work smarter, not harder. And I have entire lessons on how to do this and do it much quicker. I like to batch my content writing. Monday mornings, I like to write all my emails for the week. Then the rest, one day a week after that, I do all my calls. And then effectively, I'm only working 2 days a week, so I can do whatever I want the rest of my time. Like, sure, I'll get some Slack messages to answer, but that's it. I can't tell you how freeing it is to make 25K a month and work 2 days a week. Is that like, that's crazy to me. I would have like cut off my pinky toe to be able to do that when I was working at Costco. You know what I mean? And we can just do this now. That's freaking insane. Like, how freaking lucky are we to be alive right now in this time period? Like, it's insane. My parents are looking at me going, what the fuck happened to you? Like, this is crazy. Like, I can't believe you just did all this. And it's not that crazy because they saw where I started. So like, whoa, Christian, we thought you were. I've literally had my family approach me when I was just starting my journey and had an intervention with me. And they're like, Christian, you're like, we're kind of worried about you. Like you're just kind of, they didn't say loser, but they were kind of hinting at it. They're like, look, like you're 26, you don't have a lot going for you. It's like, you got to get serious about like making some money here, um, you can't just be like, doing this forever. And so if I can do it, you can too. All right. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. I'm going to let Jan step in here and talk about his journey from $500 a month to 3K a month and closing his first real client. Jan, welcome to the chat. Everybody drop a chat or a one in the freaking chat to welcome Jan to this program.
What's up, everybody? Nice to see the chat over there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out too. This is crazy. Alex, thanks for commenting. Diane, thank you.
Yeah,
Liz.
this is so exciting, man, to be here.
Yeah, when you guys get fired up in the chat, this makes me want to keep dropping extra hints and tips and stuff because I can do the short version and blow through this content, but I get excited when I see all this. So, um, Jan, share your process. So like, um, when did you start your copywriting journey?
Well, I started my copywriting journey like 2 years ago. I would say, yeah, roughly like 2.5 years, 2 years, kind of. I bought the shitty course, like probably everyone. I don't want to say names or something, but yeah, $500 course. And then I joined another kind of, how you say it, a coach, copywriting coach who just worked for Ty Lopez. And now he's in big troubles, I guess. But and no, yeah, he was very authentic, and but he's a really good copywriter, and but he just doesn't know his worth, I think. And but I learned a lot about copy. But yeah, he teaches his students to just go on Upwork and make deals through Upwork kind of stuff, and you're not gonna make more than 500 to 1K through Upwork, especially if you are just a full stack copywriter. Sorry. And that was my case. I spent 1 year with him, and then I said, "This is the further I will go. Then I have to switch. I have to find another coach that achieve better results than him, right?" So, and that was Christian. And like 2 months ago, I joined him his webinar like this one, and the rest is kind of history. Well, the rest is what we're gonna get into right now.
Let's freaking go. Everybody give it up for Jan. Yeah, because you can have all the tools in the world and you can just not take action. And so he deserves all the credit because I literally will do whatever it takes to drag you over the finish line, but he's the one at the end of the day. I'm not sitting there right next to him being like, do your stuff. So he freaking did it. And that's some savagery right there.
Exactly.
Okay, so um, did you have any like skepticism about joining yet another copywriting course?
I guess that, yeah, but the fact that you just work for the big names like Alex Hormozy and stuff give me a lot of trust. And I also followed your Instagram for a month or so, and you gave me a lot of trust as well. So yeah, that was the case for me. And so yeah, I just jump on your social proof. I just yeah jump on your shoulders with your borrowing your social proof and authority, and that's what we're getting into right now. But yeah, that's what make the difference basically especially in the sales calls and stuff.
Yeah, like how did you feel you were treated on sales calls before you had the strategies versus after?
Just a lot of clarity. Just as we are all copywriters here, so a lot of tangibility and specificity is very important. So when you jump on a screen share, that's how we said when framing it, right? When you jump on a sales call and saying, "Hey, we have this plan. We're gonna do this, this, and this," and now this client's very like, this guy knows his shit, you know. So that gave me a lot of confidence, and yeah.
Yeah, everybody go follow Jan if you want to drop your socials in the chat. He's a great guy. Okay, so what's the biggest mistake you feel like you avoided because of the trainings?
Hmm, that's an interesting question. The biggest, sorry?
Biggest mistake, like I'm sure that you've had some clients before that you've screwed up or some sales calls you've screwed up and you wondered why they treated you like a kid or something, and not like a strategist.
Well, basically, I would say, yeah, something that I didn't know and I was doing over and over and just positioning myself and I do everything. I do ads, I do email, I do funnels, I do sales pages. And now it's just way different because, yeah, the client that I got with, well, it was a long hanging fruit because it was already a client and that I write ad scripts. But yeah, it was way different because I just had a plan and it was way more specific.
So you probably have to work more now since you're learning some of the stuff, but like how many hours a week are you working for this client?
I would say like not well, it's just I'm learning things. So you mean working with for him only or just on the side learning things and watching your lessons?
Yeah, so I guess just actual delivery for this client, like how much are you working for just the delivery? Like
I would say roughly like 10 to 20 hours, probably just yeah, kind of.
as a beginner, not bad. Yeah. And it also gets much faster from there. So congratulations. Yeah, you'll get so much faster. It used to take me 3 hours to write one email, you know what I mean? And then you just get so much faster. Then I went down to 7 minutes and I thought, wow, it feels impossible. And then you just get the strategy, like the Klein framework I teach all the students for busting out an email quickly. Like if you have the 17,000 swipes and you have the Klein framework, your emails are just printing themselves. Like this is
Yeah.
basically like a business in a box, it's just you have everything pre-canned. So
Yeah,
what's your
just it takes me a lot just to learn his things and just they got pretty much the workflow set up, but yeah, just what was the question? Next question, yeah.
Gotcha? Yeah, true. You'll, as I mentioned to everybody, you'll have some extra time in there to do workflows and stuff here and there. But if you did get a lull in your job, like in between Black Friday and New Year's, for example, you could pull down a 10 hours and go on a trip for a couple of weeks and have a great time with your family. So,
Yeah,
um,
especially because well, now we get into that later, but it's not 3K more, it's 4K a month because I generated a good result for them and they like it very much. And yeah, just because of the promo I showed you. So yeah, now it's 4K a month.
what, dude? So you implemented that promo we talked about and you got 4K a month, bro? Let's freaking
Yeah,
go. Everybody
yeah,
get excited in the chat. What the heck? Let's see that heart emojis. Let's freaking go.
yeah,
Jan, so
because this is fucking crazy because let me just share this more specifically because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pitch them like 6K a month with these 30 emails that 12 email profit formula kind of stuff. 12 step email profit formula that is for ecom, but
yes.
the one he showed Christian was 17 for coaches, but it was 12 for ecom. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pitch them for 30 broadcast a month. I'm gonna charge 6K, but hey, the problem was that they said, oh, but we found out that the best way for us is 3 to 4 emails a week because otherwise it generates a lot of churn. People start to unsubscribe and unengage. And I was, damn, fuck. Now I'm not gonna charge 6K, but I just adapt to it. You guys, sometimes you wanna adapt to the situation and say, okay, I cannot charge like 6K and just instead I'm gonna charge 3K for a 3 to 4 email per week, right? So you just want to kind one email broadcast every other day. So yeah, I wasn't talking to the founder, unfortunately, because I was talking to the CMO. If you are talking to the founder, which is going to be a lot of the time just the case because you're going to talk to coaches, it's going to be like you just need to talk about money. Just the Christian what they said before. I'm gonna make this. You wanna make me? I am gonna make you this money, and we're gonna do this, this, and that. But if this the ego, in like in the CMO just had a lot of ego, and he's just kind of okay. I know this stuff, um, and yeah, they're not gonna let you. Okay, if you just jump and say kind of I know more than you, and I can make you more money than that by just sending 6 emails a week. They're gonna say probably that no, this is not how it works or whatever. At least that's how it felt. So yeah, that was my case.
Did you say that you felt maybe not 100% confident on the sales call, but you feel like the strategy and the social proof I gave you helped overshadow that, so they like ignored maybe a little bit of nerves you had?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as you can just note right now, and I mean, there's always going to be nerves when you're on a sales call or even in this call. So yeah, when I just showed the Alex Hormozzi, who was my mentor, even they are in the econ space, they were pretty much impressed. So yeah, that was the
Yeah.
case. And then just a month after, I made them with a promo 47K in total. It was like 37K in the first week close, and the following week like 10K close, which was 47K in total, 35K in British pounds, because there is econ British. And yeah, they were pretty impressed. And then we jumped into 4K a month. That's what it matters.
Let's fucking go. Yes.
Let's fucking go, man.
I
It's
love
pretty
it.
late
I
over
love it. So,
here.
dude, Jan, I'm like super fired up to keep this momentum going with you. So, you just won a one-on-one with me, and we're gonna literally map out the strategy for how you can close four more clients for 4K a piece, and how we can get you, to the coveted 20K a month for 5 clients.
Exactly. At least that's the goal from now. Because yeah, 4K is good, but you always want more when you are at this stage.
Yeah, and plus I'll also show you how to deliver like way quicker so that you don't feel like so you still feel like you have a life, and even when you're learning new stuff, like it's just all about batching. So don't worry. You can do things about like 5 times faster than you're currently doing them. Cool. Or
Yes,
do the
sir.
math. 3 hours down to 7 minutes. I mean, like that's a lot of X's. So anyway, if you could go back in time, last question, but to the
Yeah.
beginning of your copy journey 2 years ago, what would you do differently?
Oh, I would just search the coach that has the most social proof and authority and just go pay him. Just,
Dude,
yeah.
I literally just messaged him and said, "Hey, can you just share your experience with everybody? Like we didn't talk about this at all beforehand, but I thank you. I appreciate it, Jan. Yeah. I mean, it's not me really. I'm just a normal guy. It's like the testimonials and the social proof and all that speaks for itself, you know. So I don't really have to go too hard. But okay, so we're gonna open the floor up to some questions in a little bit, but I'm gonna answer some pre-canned ones first, and then we'll also give you a chance to answer or ask Jan some questions if you would like as well.
Definitely.
So, what do you say? Some people will say, "Oh, but Christian, I don't have enough time to do this." Like, I don't think Jan was actually working a full-time job when you started, but you were at the very beginning of your journey, right? Like 2 years ago, or where were we?
Yeah, 2 years ago, and for a year I didn't have any clients, and second year I just have a side hustle kind of. Well, it was a full time in a library, man. I actually have photos about that, and it's gonna be crazy because I'm about to document all that shit. But I worked for in a library, man. That was crazy, and a post office as well. So it was crazy because I was just generating any money from the copywriting until like last 6 months. And it was crazy because I spent all my money on your course, like all my left money. And it was crazy because, yeah, it's now or never, you know.
Oh yeah, dude, I remember now. Oh my gosh. That's right. We had the call and you were saying to me, "That's it, Christian. I'm literally giving you the last of the money I have in my bank account." And you know, any under any other circumstance, if I wasn't confident you would get the result, I tell people, "Hey, that's pretty extreme." Like if you have like certain life circumstances, I'm like, "Oh, no, not worth it." But you specifically, you showed up to the call, you answered all my questions correctly, you seemed super eager, and I felt your energy, and I was like, "Yes." Jan's fucking got this. So I feel comfortable taking that portion of his money and look at him now. And this, we're just getting fucking started, okay? So just wait. He's going to be getting 20K very shortly here.
Exactly, and it was pretty crazy, man. I can't believe it right now, but yeah, it was pretty crazy because
Dude,
yeah, in Spain we don't have the culture of debt, of jumping on credit cards and stuff. But I would have done it anyways, probably. If it would, but already giving all my money left, it was crazy in Spain already. So, but yeah.
you're crazy, bro. You deserve all the credit. You remind me of me, actually, because like you heard the story, but let me share it with the people. I was in Mexico, 40K in debt, watching a free life training just like this. And it was 3 a.m. and I was pacing around my $300 a month Airbnb with cockroaches going, fuck, fuck. Yes, this is exactly what I've been looking for my entire life. I don't give a shit what I have to do. I'm going to get the call booked and I'm going to show up to the call. And I stopped the guy halfway through. I'm like, hey, dude, stop what you're doing. I wanted to get started yesterday. Just run my credit card if it's 5K or less. And let's start this shit because I can see the future and I know that I'm finally going to dig myself out of the hole I put myself in. I did that exactly that. Even with the shitty course that I had, I got my first client in 2 weeks, and then 3.5 years later, I'm running the giant 12-figure gurus email list. I mean, now it's 4.5, but technically from the start to getting that guru client, 3.5. Okay, so this is possible in a very short amount of time. And by the way, this is the biggest guy in the entire game. I've literally maxed out the entire industry for the amount of potential you can have. Okay. And Jan is on the exact same path. Like, dude, Jan, I want you to get this way quicker than me. Like I had to learn shit all the hard way. Let's freaking run you up. All right. This is personal for me.
Exactly, man. And it's nothing like nothing's gonna be perfect, and it's okay like that. I mean, not everything's gonna be perfect. Sorry, because yeah, I jumped my kind of. I want to work for coaches, but I just get working for an ecom brand instead. But wherever I'm doing email anyway, so yeah, let's transition whenever it comes.
Yes. Let's freaking go. And so hats off to you for having the courage, just like me. Like sees like. So I saw you and me and I was like, oh yeah, I feel comfortable with this. Let's run this up. Let's go. And then the amount of debt I had, like kept me up at night and like stressed me out. But so it was crazy as hell for me to do that, right? But then eventually there came a point where I'm in a top floor apartment looking over the view of the ocean, sun beating on my face, like seeing the sunrise, and then I get tears of gratitude and joy, and I check my phone and my bank account and all my debts say zero, and I just bought a new car cash, like a brand new Subaru. That was before I got the 6-figure Cybertruck and all that. And I remember just like having an overwhelming sense of relief and joy, but only being left with one inkling of regret, and that was, fuck, I wish I enjoyed my life more when I had the debt. Because now all I'm left with is memories of me being stressed about the debt. I should have enjoyed myself more. I should have known that this is all temporary. The numbers in cyberspace I see on my phone are not fucking real. I have the power to go and change my life. And so now I view things very temporary. I'm like, whatever my situation is, I know I'm going to get through it. And I know this is all going to be a bad dream one day. So let's fucking go. If that gets you guys excited, drop a 1 in the chat and let's finish this shit.
Exactly, and your English doesn't need to be perfect either. I mean, if you're from Pakistan, something I read, like, wherever it comes from, I mean, your English doesn't need to be perfect. You can easily jump to 4 to 5K a month and even 20K a month, what I saw from others as well.
Yeah, true. Like Luffy and other people in the program, they're crushing it. So, yeah, I think this is all accurate, right? Like you used your lunch breaks for outreach and you learned to batch on weekends a bit. Like, or how was it? How did it play out exactly?
Well, just I followed what you just gave me. I was just doing roughly 1 to 2 hours of live trainings that of the course, watching the videos and stuff. Then 30 minutes reading the email swipes, and then also doing kind of outreach, but I'm just more part of the farming club. And that's also what I'm doing right now because I don't have time for clown reach. But sorry I said it like that. But um, outreach is basically hunting and farming. But yeah, I just like more doing farming right now because I don't have time for outreach and hunting. But yeah, that's the case for me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so if people say they're just a beginner, here's what I have to say about that. Perfect. The program is designed for people with 0 to 3 clients already. Renata and Ted both started as beginners. Actually, Ted had a little bit more experience. Renata had like $500 gig at that point. 50% of students land their first client in 1 to 3 weeks. And this stat was calculated before I had an influx of 20 new people, so I have to reshift. But also, they're closing people, and it's helped balancing out the stat again. So probably now it's like 35%. Um, you don't, if as a beginner, you don't have bad habits to unlearn, and you don't, you know, yeah, basically, you can use my case studies to overcome the beginner objection and go out there and get clients. So now, if you're thinking, but I don't know any tech or email platforms, like, or that wasn't my generation, or I don't know how I'm going to keep up with the kids doing it. Well, look at Viz Scales here. You know, today I bought a new domain. I got the emails from a workspace, added the DNS records, and I set up Postmaster, blah, blah, blah. This may not sound like a big win, for me, it is. As earlier, I used to hate all this email tech stuff, and I felt I was always dependent on others for this. But now I feel confident as F that I can tackle any issue because of the course material here. Amazing people here. And that was my main goal to join this mastermind. So, yeah. I'm going to go through some of these objections first, but let me show you exactly what you guys get in the program first. So, how this all comes together. All right. This isn't just a course, this is a transformation and group coaching. Okay. So here's what you get in the program: the entire full stack email marketer system. You get 10 live calls a month. This is weekly copywriting feedback calls. With it, the people that I literally worked with side by side at desks when I was working at Troy Erickson's agency. These are not just random people online I found. These are my brothers that I went to war with every day for 2 years working with Troy's agency. I know they're fire. I know they're amazing. They're the best I know. Stefan is the tech and strategy coach. He does the weekly call. And then I'm the D, all the above coach, and the strategy coach and the client getting coach. And you get a weekly call with me. But eventually, once the program gets a little bit more filled out, I will bump it down to twice monthly. But for now, I'm super diehard about keeping my stat high, about helping everybody close clients. So we're keeping that weekly call. Cool. Lifetime access to video lessons. There's 100 plus hours of content and a lot more coming. I'm filming 50 new lessons right now as we speak. And this is ebbing and flowing. And I'm taking the feedback on the program and making it better, because that's what I hated about programs I bought in the past. I was like, dude, you just gave me a swipe to go cold email a bunch of people. This shit was burned within 7 days after, like 2 years ago after you released it. And now we're supposed to use this like 2 years later to close clients, or 4 years later. It's like, what? That's not, that's never going to work. That's why people have a bad taste in their mouth about copywriting. They say, well, copywriting is a scam. It's like, no, you just trusted the wrong guy or gal. Okay. Exclusive community group for support and accountability. And you get an assigned accountability partner with someone that's in your shoes. Okay. You get private Discord access to me, so you can ask me questions. You get 7-figure email swipes, 17,000. Some have generated up to 80K. You get screenshots on their stats for a lot of them. You get all my plug and play templates and systems for client retention so that you keep your clients for 12 plus months. You get my exact proven 17-step email profit formula and exactly how to set it up A to Z. This is almost 100% finalized, but you have everything you need to get started now, especially while we close clients for you. So I am capping this cohort at 15 people. So for the unforeseeable future, probably through the rest of the year, I'm only going to take on 15 more people. And so if that sounds like you, here's the link to book your interview. And yes, it's an interview because I only want to work with people like Jan who get results and are savages and are going to do the best job ever, and, actually do their shit and not complain, or say ridiculous shit like copywriting's a scam. That's like saying like being a lawyer is a scam. You know, it's like tell that to the professors at the university. Like, oh, fun fact. My friend was getting a marketing degree at a university, and guess what? They pulled up Alex Hormozzi's email marketing video, the one where he's talking about fucking me. So you want to go pay 40K university, or you want to pay a tiny fraction of that with me? Like, which one's the scam? You decide. So let's cover some questions and then we'll open it up to more questions from Jan. I explained the AI angle, but what if I'm scared of AI replacing me? AI is actually your competitive advantage when you know how to use it. One sec, Matthew, I'll get to you. We teach you how to leverage AI, not compete against it. Full stack email marketer, all of them use AI as a tool. And so it's not a threat. It actually is. I've worked way less and made more money with AI. AI is the best thing that ever happened to me. And I've never felt a client say, oh, I want to pay you less because of AI, or oh, I'm going to leave and replace you because of AI. Clients can't replace me. It's never happened to me, not once. Okay, so don't listen to the FUD out there. You can translate people saying AI replaced me with, I didn't have a good enough strategy. All right, clients are getting told, I'll just use AI by traditional copywriters. That's ridiculous. Yeah, you just got to have a better strategy. And we show you how to make you irreplaceable by combining it with strategy. So I got to cover this. Like, what if I don't get results? It's like, well, you're guaranteed to get zero results if you do zero work. I did a lot and I worked really hard. And so if you want to get to 60K a month, yes, it requires work. Yes, we're going to work together and I'm going to match you on your energy. So if you show up like a savage to my calls and you're like, yes, I'm all in. I don't give a shit. Like if it's 5K or less, run my card. I don't give a shit. Like if you bring that energy to the call, because I wasn't always like that. I was a weak, scared, take shots before calls kind of guy. And that moment when I was pacing around at 3 a.m. going, fuck, fuck, fuck. I decided in that fucking moment, I was like, yes. You know what? Right now, I'm going to change my life forever. I saw Tony Robbins' video saying all it takes is an instant to change your life forever, either for the good or for the bad. So why not for the good? So I chose that decision and I showed up to the call and I was like, whatever the fuck it takes, man. I got this. And then we're here. Okay. Am I better or did I just decide one day? So that decision is up to you. At any time, at any point, you can make that decision. So I've been where you are. I've struggled. That's why I built this system. And results guarantee, I'll work for you for free until you get results. All right. When you join the program, you get in for life. All right. This isn't some limited on months or limited on anything. Like you're not limited. Like, I mean, you have the calls available that you can use, but I will work for free until you get results. Literally, I'm in your back pocket. I'm here. If a client threatens to leave, I'll give you the exact script on what to say to him to keep him on board. Got you. I've tried other programs. Yeah, same. I joined a 5K course that only taught copy. And that, yeah, it was ridiculous. This is tech, strategy, and copy and everything in between. The holy trinity of being a full stack email marketer. You can interject anytime, Jan, if you want. Just let me know. Most coaches haven't sent an email in years. Yep, I said that. So what if I can't afford to invest right now? If you close a 4K client like Jan, and I'm going to ensure that he keeps this client, okay? That means Jan didn't just make 4K a month. He made 48K this next year. 48K. Congratulations, Jan. You just made 48K. Let's fucking go. That's life changing, bro.
Yeah,
That's like pay off your debt type shit. That's like
let's fucking go.
that's buy your mom a small house type shit. Like, what are we even doing here? Now you guys see the math where it's like, it's not that crazy to get a Cybertruck and a penthouse. Like my rent is literally one fucking client. My Cybertruck is like a third of a client.
Exactly. And sometimes, I mean, you don't even need like Christian's help just by watching all the videos that he has in the course. I mean, he pretty much covers everything, but he pretty much like helping everyone who's having trouble with clients. Hopefully, I just didn't get one still, but yeah, I mean, everything is inside.
Wow, thanks. And then
Yeah.
60K per year for if that's a 5K client instead. And then, yeah, payment plans available. And the truth is, you can't afford not to invest. Just like Hermosi said, what's the price of not making, 300K a year, which is, roughly 25K a month? That's exactly 300K a year that you're paying every year. So if you try to think backwards, like think how the business owners think. Like you're about to show up to a call, right? And you're going to justify the ROI. Like literally, it's the same exact thing for you. It's like if my clients didn't hire me, they would have lost millions. If Jan didn't hire me, he would have lost 48K, you know? So, and it's going to be much more here. We're the 300, baby. Let's go. You're going to be making more than a doctor and brain surgeon and lawyer pretty soon here. That's a massive flex. At like, how old are you?
I'm 27.
What the fuck? It's a crazy world we live in.
Yes.
Doing really good for 27. So email marketing feels saturated. I covered this a bit, but it's traditional copywriting that's saturated. Full stack isn't. Everyone's learning copy. No one's learning systems. Clients are drowning in copywriters who can't deliver an ROI. This is a relatively new industry. No one knows what they're doing. So if you have a strategy, know what you're doing, you rise to the top instantly. That's why I'll apply for a job out of hundreds of people and I'll get it instantly. They'll say, hey, head over shoulders, you were the only decision we could make because everyone else just gave us some BS. So while other people fight over table scraps and copy gigs, you'll own an entire system. I'm not sure if I'm qualified. Yeah, right. You just heard my story. I wrote, it took me 45 minutes to write 3 lines, and my mentor said, you suck. Like, you don't need to be an expert. If you've had at least one client or even zero clients, even if it was underpaid, you're qualified. Zero clients, though, is totally fine. Like, people are printing with zero clients. And don't worry, James, we have like payment plans and stuff. And especially if you're from the US, we can get the payment plan down to an insanely low amount, like insanely low. Like it's ridiculous, So yeah, don't worry. There's plenty of options available for you. We'll make it work together because if you're the type of person who shows up and is a savage and is going to get the social proof, we'll find a way to make it work. Okay, but it's the same price for everybody. So you're not going to change that because I have to keep it fair to the people that all paid the same price. Cool. If you're applying, you're probably more ready than 99% of people who never took action. So what if it's another just an empty promise? I gotta literally cover every angle here. So I would like to challenge you. What if it's not? Look at Renata, Jan, and Ted's results. We don't just give you content, we coach you on copy, tech, and strategy. We review your pitch calls, help you fix deliverability, walk you through every system I've used to generate 57 mil for my clients. Most other coaches haven't sent an email. Okay, so here's some things covered in the program. Just a brief overview. There's much more, a lot more modules and stuff, but full stack positioning and mindset, why you're different, high converting copy systems, writing frameworks, technical setup and deliverability, tutorials on all major ESPs. And if you get an ESP, like an email software that we don't have in the program, like a weird obscure one, we'll make lessons for it. Okay. Because between me and the other coaches, we've used them all. ROI tracking and analytics, premium client acquisition, 5K retainer system. So how to keep the clients, plus coaching templates and community. So here's the results of the 5-figure swipes, 80K, 85. See, I rounded down again, 85K for one email. All right, and here's the social proof. I know I've been talking about the students, but this is the actual screenshots of the people crushing it. So this was from the 23rd. Ty just got 1.7K. Let's freaking go. Here's Jan's 3K. Boom. Now it's going to be 4 pretty soon here. Sayan said, by the way, brother, you have built an amazing community. I listen to Stefan's all coaching calls every day when in the gym or cooking. They answer a lot of my questions. So thank you for the amazing kingdom you've built that's helping people. That's what I'm talking about. I just got off the phone with a guy from ClickFunnels. He wants to test me for 2K. Sending agreement invoice today. Got to knock it out of the park the first 30 days. What? ClickFunnels? Let's fucking go. Connor set up a re-engagement flow. Made the 14K in less than a week with a new client. Fucking crushed it. Ty got a $500 gig. It's great for being a beginner. This was right when he first started. This wasn't 2 days ago. This is when he first started. He did close this one recently. Renata closed her first client ever, you know, and she closed Plenty of clients. Close another deal right here with Tiana. All right. Renata closed another client here. She's going crazy. Oh yeah, whoops, that's a repeat screenshot. And then Ron here said, "Hey brother, I just closed another retainer client. I showed him the 17 steps you present, and so he realized who he has a business with. Thanks for the video again." Like his English is not even the best, but he still closed the client. I think this is the most valuable video I've ever seen about your email marketing last year. All right. I got some results for you. I implemented the post webinar flows and I got 35 calls booked after the webinar. So he's crushing it for his clients and he's justifying the rate that people are paying him, you know, so that's part of the game. It's like knowing actually how to do this. All right. Renata said, "I'm proud to say I'm one of the 5 new students that could be more grateful. My first 2 weeks, I landed 2 clients. Now I'm up to 3 awesome clients with 4 and 5 already in the works. One of the 2 new clients has a 500K email list. And what's even crazier is that I started with minimal copy experience, no strategy, no tech knowledge, and no previous clients. I just started learning the tech and strategy through the program. And the results have been incredible. If you're unsure about joining the program, shoot me a message. You can do that if you want. If if you'd love to chat or answer questions, she knows it's possible for you guys too." Ty closed another client here. Janice closed a gig for 11.7K. Joseph closed a client for 1,000 a month for a 3-month trial. Let's freaking go. He was very nervous too about making this work. He was very skeptical when we talked together. We have 72 students and counting. I think it's actually closer to 80 now. Had a few trickle in. Russell Brunson is on my email list and in my Facebook group, so that must be a good sign. You know, he funnel hacked me. The funnel hacker funnel hacked me. Must be doing something right. Okay, so just to recap, why full stack works when everything else doesn't. Everyone gives you 1 coaching call a week, no tech, no support, no revenue systems. We give you 3 weekly live calls, 3 specialized coaches for 9-figure clients. And we're triple teaming every student until they win because this shit's personal for us. Okay. So let's handle your specific situation and get your questions answered. Okay. So yeah, open the floor. Everybody drop your questions in the chat and let's do this thing. If you dropped a question earlier, I'm sorry. I didn't see it because the chat's going crazy. What's your best piece of advice, Jan, for the people like in in regards to their copy journey, besides just like get mentorship? Like what's like the best piece of advice you have?
I mean, you said everything, but my best piece of advice is just jump in because there's no other course that is teaching things like for this ridiculous price. Like, I mean, you will be able to just jump on Christian's shoulders. Like, he works for fucking Alex Hormozi. I mean, think about this. Who is Alex Hormozi, and just drop that name on a sales call or whatever, and just say, "This is my mentor. He works for Alex Hormozi and Russell Branson." I mean, this is fucking insane.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, he's just going off the cuff here. Like I swear that wasn't planned. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. Okay. Fuck yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you have like some people is saying like I'm from the third world country. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's always gonna be the financially objections or financially obstacles, but if you really deep down want to do this, I mean, there's always gonna be a way to do it. I mean, always. You just have to find it.
That's motivational as shit. So I'm gonna tackle a couple of these questions while you guys trickle them in. How do you find out what the insides of a company for what they lack? He meant like how do you find out if they need email marketing or not? Well, the truth is nobody has a 17-step email profit format set up. People maybe have like 2 to 5 of those, but no one has the entire checklist set up. So everybody needs you. Okay. And whether they have someone working for them or not, you can go in there and you can replace them because you have a better strategy. So not only is this like really important for you to go out and get clients, but if you are a copywriter and you don't have the program, my students are currently working around the clock to go steal your clients from you. And I tell them not to do that because it's not really ethical and stuff. But knowing how people act and stuff, I know that they're going to go do it anyway because this is a dog eat dog world. And I hope they do the best for the good of all humanity. But that's just how it works, guys. So like, yeah. Alan says, Jan, do you also design emails for the ecom brand you work with?
Yeah, I just answered that in the chat right now. But yeah, I have a designer. In my case, I just work directly with a designer. They can afford a designer. And but otherwise, I mean, you can do that too. It's very easy to design emails and just spend a little two couple hours more, but per week. But I mean, that's no real deal on that.
Yeah, so my experience, I will often take email lists that are heavy on design and then I'll tweak them to have less design elements. So I'll just put like a logo and some pictures in the email, then maybe change some colors and it'll look really pretty, but it'll actually hit the inbox better and make the client way more money. And then they think I'm a superstar. But actually, I did less work because I didn't have to make a bunch of crazy images and stuff. So this is amazing. Like you just write the copy, you just change some colors, add a couple photos, and boom. There you go. So that's for ecom. If you do coaching, you don't have to worry about that at all. You just do writing, but that's a common misconception that, oh, I have to learn how to design emails, bro. Like, no, not at all.
No.
That actually hurts. It actually makes it worse because it's also not even from a human. Odds are they're running picture heavy emails from a brand and then you lose that personal element and then all of a sudden your sales drop. This applies to
Exactly.
smaller brands. If you're Nike or if you're Walmart, then keep doing what you're doing. But for the rest of the smaller people doing less than hundreds of millions a month then or a year, then yeah, you're good. Heidi says, I'm not a copywriter yet. Should I proceed with the application or make all the first timer mistakes first? So the key is it depends how much time you want until you get to 25K a month. So if you want to spend a lot of time making a bunch of mistakes, I mean, that's why people are in my DMs saying, hey, I'm still stuck at 2K a month after 8 years. Like, what am I doing wrong? So it might take you a year to get to your first 1K. I don't know. Like, if you're like a lot of the people in this call and you have kids and a full-time job and other responsibilities, then it's going to take longer probably and be harder. But I've condensed everything in insanely short time windows so that you can save your maximum time so that when you put the kids to bed or whatever time you have, you can sit down, you can focus, and you can actually do the things you need to do to get to 25K a month as fast as humanly possible.
Exactly. And he said something very important. She said, I'm not a copywriter yet. So if you're not a copywriter, you have a huge advantage on this because you didn't have a shitty copywriting course that I got and just did all the wrong stuff. I mean, you're gonna just learn from the best and things that actually work for clients and deliver results, not shitty things that do fucking gurus and stuff.
So Matthew corrected his question. He's like, no, how do you know what the business has based off the checklist? Well, this is super, super simple. Just ask them on the call. Hey, do you have this set up? No? Okay, cool. You need me then. Here's 17 reasons why you need me. And if your current guy isn't doing it, then I'm sorry, I'm probably going to have to step in for him, but you'll have to pay me more. That's just how this works. And then they're like, okay, shit, guess you're right. I don't play it like that. Like I don't take people's clients, but also people are viciously working around the clock to take my clients. So, and it hasn't worked yet. So I am month to month, by the way, with my retainers. I don't lock them into contracts. So they could try to take them, but they're not because they can't compete. So, best way to do outreach, I covered that, Abdullah. It depends on your platform. Like outreach is really simple. It's where you're most likely able to get noticed, where you have the most social proof. And Yeah, wherever you get seen the most. And I have exact video, insanely long video lessons covering all this. All right. Abdullah says, is it possible if I close first client on my own, then invest that money into your mentorship? Would that be possible to close your first client on your own? Yeah, people can sometimes close like a $500 gig here and there, but it really depends what your time is worth to you, right? So for me, I wanted to get to the life of my wildest dreams as fast as possible. Then I knew right now my life was a nightmare and that the amount that I had to pay to get into a program was nothing compared to what I'm going to make. So if Jan had tried to get, a client on his own, like another one, for example, before joining with me, he wouldn't be a 4K a month right now. He would he would be stuck. Like sure, he'd have some extra money in his account, but he would feel stuck in life and he wouldn't be posting those dope travel photos and all that. All right. Any other questions for Jan or me? Thanks for your time, Jan. I think it's like fucking 2 a.m. for you, right?
Yeah, but even though I'm so fucking fired up, man, I mean,
Me too. Yes.
I
Let's
won't be
fucking
able to
go.
go. I won't be
Let's
able to
go.
sleep, man.
You
You
guys
you
want to
left me
freaking
sleepless.
let's get loaded, everybody. What the heck? Like I'm literally charging the smallest amount I can possibly charge while still making this worth my time. Like I'm gonna have to raise the price by $1,000 pretty soon here, because it's just like people are getting insane results, and I can't keep, giving it away for such a low price. It's literally the cheapest price I can possibly do. Because otherwise, why wouldn't I just keep doing $1,000 an hour consulting gigs with my current clients, right? This is literally a love project for me. And also, how do you expect to go out and turn around and charge someone 5K if you're not willing to put down the same amount or less, the program's less, but if you're not willing to put down the same amount in yourself? That's like when you choose to pay the same amount that you're going to go charge someone else, you're raising your hand to the universe saying, hey, I declare that this amount of money is not a lot of money to me. Starting right now, I decide that this is not a lot of money to me and that I'm going to go make it back as fast as humanly possible. And that's what I did. And before I launch any type of offer, I go pay someone the same amount, you know? Before I ever paid or before I ever charged a client $10,000, I went and I paid someone else $10,000. This isn't even a tiny fraction of the price of that, but I back my shit up. I walk the talk, you know what I mean? So like I will happily do this any day. I live for this shit. Let's freaking go. I'm so fired up. All right.
Let's fucking go.
So
Who's gonna
we did
carry the boats and the
who's gonna
locks
carry the boats?
and the
Mother
locks?
effers. Let's freaking go. So if you want me to be personally accountable to carry you over the finish line to make you successful and get you those 25K months, let's freaking do this. All right. This is going to be insane. Oh yeah, I'm not announcing I'm charging, but you can go ahead and apply for the call if you want. It's not that much. Yeah, it's less than what I paid for my program when I joined, and I didn't learn anything. I learned like just copy, and I was given a template that was burned years before I bought it, and nobody ever replied to me. And I got some swipes that the guru only sent to his own email list. Those 17,000 swipes, they're not from my email list. They're for actual clients that I'm running shit for, you know? So if the stats are good for your own email list, duh, everybody loves you on your own email list. How can you give this email swipe to other people and say, hey, this is a great swipe. Go send this for a knife for your client. It's like, we don't know if it's going to work. You sent this on your list of like 10,000 people and they all came from your YouTube and they love you. That's not social proof. Like, let's freaking go. Well, I'm going to stay here as long as you guys are, but Jan can go whenever he wants, but I'm vibing right now.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, let's fucking go, everybody. This is insane. I just can't believe this is our life. You know what I mean? Like, it feels so full circle. Like, I look back at all the hard times, like the bed bugs eating me alive at night, and the getting a chemical in my eye at Costco and wondering if I'm going to go blind. It's like the doctor on the phone literally said, I don't know if you'll see out your eye again. And like just feeling trapped and stuck and in a horrible place and being like, this can't be my life. This is a living nightmare. I can't wait to get out of here. And then to hate my life so much and be so depressed and think, why me? But then to go feel every pain and struggle along the way that a lot of you are feeling right now, and then be able to give you the gift of accomplishing all that. Holy fuck. That's the best high I've ever discovered in my entire life. Like giving you guys the gift of freedom on a silver platter is there's no better feeling on earth. So that's why we're charging such a ridiculously low amount. Cause it's like I'm already getting high off feeling good from this. So it's like when you're going through the shit, you you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you let like hurdles and seemingly big problems hold you back. When really all the turmoil I went through was the biggest gift I was ever given in life. I'm so grateful I went through all that shit because it made me the person I am, and more importantly, it made me be able to relate to you and what you're going through. Okay? Like if I just was, had all this shit handed to me on a silver platter, or if I had someone handing me clients, or if I didn't go through all the losing clients and getting them and struggles and stuff, like, first of all, I wouldn't appreciate this life so much. I wake up every morning and look out my window and go, fuck, I love my life. I get a little tear of joy. I'm like, yes. Like, watch my stories. I do it all the time, and then I get to give back to you guys and help people like Jan do the same thing. Like, dude, we're gonna meet up pretty soon here at some point, and I'm gonna have an event here for all the students. I'll rent a boat for us. Like, we're gonna get an Airbnb, and some of you guys can stay here as well. Hopefully, my building doesn't yell at me. I have some air mattresses and stuff. We can run it, and it'll just be a free event for students only. And we'll all hang out, and I'll hire a YouTuber guy who's my friend and super hilarious, and we'll film a bunch of content and because I do this to hang out with you guys. I do this because I love it. I love the community. I'm not doing this to scale an info offer or to make as much money as possible. It's just like, this is my life. Like when I travel, I post my story, hey, I'm here. Then I actually meet up with you guys. You know, I can't tell you how many people are like gurus on the outside, but then they don't enjoy connecting with people and they don't love hanging out with their students and they don't make it their personal and ethical moral duty to make them successful and to carry them over to the finish line. It's just personal for me because my mentor he told me, Christian, give back to other people the same way I gave back to you. So this is the best way I can do it. For a long time, I gave back to people for free, but I literally can't anymore. My phone is an absolute monkey house. And so this is the best, easiest, cheapest possible way for you to get into my world. Dude, we still got 26 people here. Let's freaking go. You guys are committed. You guys can sense what's coming for you. But yeah, at this point in your career, you have two choices. So it's your choice at this point, and we're gonna end it after this. Like you can either stay stuck or transform like Ted, Jan, and Renata and many others. You have option one, keep struggling with old methods, the same systems, you know. Oh, this is a call to action here. Never mind. Option one, keep struggling with old methods. Option two, follow the proven path to 4 to 5K a month retainers. As simple as that. What happens next? You apply what you learned today. You start outreaching to prospects tomorrow. You book your call. You use the frameworks and templates from tonight, and the results come from implementation. But if you get stuck along the way, which you will, you're going to need help. So get the complete implementation system. That's path number two. Full stack email marketer program. We build this with you, not just teach it. You get all the coaching calls, one-on-one support from me and my team, templates, swipes, frameworks, community of people doing the same thing. And yeah, like again, you can stay stuck for years doing this, like literally. 8 years to 2K a month, like that scares the shit out of me. Like shit, if I was 8 years older at 2K a month, like that would scare the hell out of me. Let's go, Alan. Welcome, man. Freaking love you. All right, so thank you. An action step. You just made a decision that could change everything. Here's your next step. Review the frameworks we covered tonight. Picked one prospect to reach out to tomorrow. Use the pitch template I gave you. And if you want the complete system, apply to full stack email marketer. Because let me tell you, option one here is go and close clients. All right. But you're not learning how to actually do the work. And the problem is there's a catch-22 here. You don't close clients if you don't know how to deliver the work, because guess what? They can smell it off your breath. They can sense the fear. Like when you have the templates and formulas and systems and my social proof backing you on the call, you show up like a whole new person. You got this swagger to you. You're like, okay, I don't give a shit if you take my offer or not, because this is the best thing I have for you. And so you don't get as nervous. It overshadows all the doubt, all the fear, all the anxiety. You literally just solve it by having the system. So thank you, everybody. Go apply to Full Stack Email Marketer. Thank you for showing up. Now go take action. All right. Mad love, fam. And thank you, Jan, so much for your time, bro. To your success.
Yes, sir. It has been an honor. A pleasure.
Let's fucking go. All right. I'll send you the link to get your one-on-one booked. And yeah, let's freaking meet up soon. And I hope to see the rest of you guys on my call soon. This is actually me taking the call, not like some sales rep and stuff. And we have super inexpensive financing. Like it can just be like as low as like a few $100s a month for US citizens. If you have a credit score of up to 650%, so let's run this shit. Mad love, fam. Peace.